Stay with the latest finance and market news, and we're now joined by Suzanne Haddan, who is the Managing Director at BFG Financial Services. Suzanne, always good to have you on Weekend Breakfast. It was a huge budget week, wasn't it, Suzanne? Initially, we had the Treasurer, Josh Frydenberg, laying out the budget for the next financial year. And then we also had the opposition leader, Anthony Albanese, with his reply as well. Let's first go through what the reaction to the budget was in terms of the market. What was the market reaction?
So the market reaction depended on what sector you were talking about. For example, travel stocks were well down because the budget indicated the borders were going to stay shut till about mid-22. When you look at then at, say, the childcare stocks like G8 Education, they were stronger because of the extra rebates that were proposed. Against that, when you look at the building stocks, like Mirvac, Stockland for residential properties with the extension of Home Builder, they were stronger. So it was very much a sector-based reaction to the budget. But overall for the week, we were down, though, as Johanna said, we did recover a little bit later in the week.
Suzanne, I want to get into some of the nitty-gritties of the federal budget itself. Just very quickly, though, I'd like your opinion when you compare the two budgets that were given to Australia this week. Which do you think was far more feasible and had long-lasting effects?
Well, in fairness for Labor, they won't be providing the costings for their announcements until much closer to the election. What I was pleased about was both parties, both sides of the political spectrum, were focusing on housing, were focusing on home ownership, which I think is absolutely crucial for security for individuals now and in retirement. For example, Labor were looking at 10,000 spots for, say, affordable housing for frontline workers. That ties in very well with the coalition scheme for the first home loan deposit scheme, because that's on lower price properties and gets people in with a 5% deposit. So a bit of crossover. They were both very focused on childcare. Labor, a more extensive package, and will be costed much more, of course, looking at rebates for up to $530,000 of income household families, whereas the coalition dealt with the burden of multiple children in childcare. I mean the burden financially. We love our little people. And so they were both focused on getting workforce participation up and also the apprentice and getting people skilled. So I thought both of them were actioning the key areas for us.
Well, it's good that you clarified the burden of our little people who live with us as well there. Suzanne, you mentioned the first homeowner scheme as well. There's been a lot of concern for the fact that these first home buyers would be able to draw down even further on their super for a deposit. What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, there's a couple of points there. The first is, yes, we're looking at extending that scheme. Remember, it's all proposals and it's applying from 1st of July 22. That these relate to voluntary contributions that you can put into your superannuation and then withdraw currently up to $30,000 and up to $50,000 if the proposals go ahead. So emphasis on voluntary. So it's not accessing your superannuation guaranteed contributions, your 9.5%, soon to go to 10%. The thing is, it's very complicated. In broad terms, though, it does improve the deposit by around 30% for most people, as against just taking after-tax savings and putting in a savings account. What my tip there is, go onto the websites of the super funds. Most of them have a calculator, so you can see if there's a benefit and what it might be for you. So broadly, I'm supporting it, but I'm concerned also about how much people borrow for a first home. What I would like first home buyers to do, I know it's hard, is to repay their loan based on 5.5 to 6% interest rate, because I'm concerned when they come off these low interest rates buying into a high property market at the moment.
Suzanne, I'd love to get a little bit more into that with you and also talk about the pensioners, but fortunately we've run out of time, but that was very good advice that you've just given there. Be very cautious when drawing down on the super and ensure that you've got your budget as well. Suzanne, lovely to have you on the show. Suzanne Haddan, thank you.
Thank you.